Why most parenting advice is wrong. If you skip this video, you risk turning your child's frustration into permanent, uncontrollable outbursts. For years, you felt that crushing guilt, that sense you're constantly failing. You're constantly chasing a perfect that doesn't exist. You feel like you're failing, but it's not your fault. It's the bad advice you've been given. Stay with me because I'm going to give you 3 science-backed steps to stop the cycle of guilt and defiance instantly. I'm a registered early childhood teacher with over 10 years of experience. I've spent countless hours not just teaching, but sifting through hundreds of dense, boring research papers and books on child psychology to distill the exact actionable frameworks that actually work. I know your pain, and I'm here to tell you, forget everything you know about boundaries. Today, we're not just talking about tips. We are building a 3-step psychological cheat sheet to raise a resilient child. We're covering the shocking truth about praise, the simple language of connection, and the most crucial boundary technique that eliminates power struggles. You have to watch until the very end because if you skip the final step, none of this will work. You need to know this before it's too late. Tip 1. The identity trap of praise. I think telling your child, "you're so smart," is the single worst thing you can say to them. Every parenting book from the 90s told you praise builds self-esteem. But here's the unexpected scientific reality, which is a term called person praise. For instance, when you say, "you are so smart," you are giving your child a fixed identity, which traps your child. They start to fear failure because if they struggle, they feel they will lose the label of smart or talented. This is where the emotional roller coaster begins. This is the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset, a concept pioneered by Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck. Think of it like a video game. A fixed mindset child quits when they see the big boss because they think they lack the innate ability. A growth mindset child sees the big boss and says, "Oh, I haven't learned how to beat him yet." That's the power of effort. Now, here's the practical solution, which is the rare tip. The process rule. Never praise the child's identity. Always praise the process, effort, and strategy. So, instead of "what a beautiful picture," say, "wow, you used so many colors on that part. I noticed how long you worked to make that sun perfectly round." That's persistence. This teaches them effort is your superpower. Tip 2. The empathy elevator. Don't try to fix your child's emotions. Trying to stop them from crying is actually teaching them to lie to you about how they feel. When your child is upset, you'll probably jump in with, "stop crying. It's not a big deal." You do this to avoid your own discomfort, but you're communicating, "your feelings are too big for me and I need them to stop." This is how you unknowingly raise a child who bottles up their feelings until they explode. Dr. John Gottman, after decades of observational research, found that successful parenting isn't about fixing the feelings, but about emotional coaching. Think of it like this. You are the empathy elevator. Your child is stuck in a basement. For instance, anger or sadness. You have to write down to their level first. So, here's the practical solution. The write down 4-step framework. Step 1. Acknowledge, which is going down. For instance, "I can see you're kicking your feet and yelling." Step 2. Label, which is understanding. For instance, "that must be fury. You are furious that the Lego tower broke." Step 3. Validate, which is staying on the floor with them. For instance, "it makes sense to be furious when you work so hard." Step 4. Solve, which is going back up. For instance, "now that we know you're furious, let's figure out a way to fix the tower." You validate the feeling before you address the behavior. This kind of high-level research-backed advice takes me days of reading and hours of editing to bring to you for free. If I'm providing this immense value, all I ask you to do is click the like button. That small click is the fuel that keeps this channel running and allows me to keep sharing this knowledge. Tip 3. The myth of absolute control. Skip this step if you enjoy fighting with your child every single time you need them to do something. You've been told boundaries must be rigid and non-negotiable, enforced with an iron fist. But the fear of losing control is making you lose control. When you demand compliance, you trigger their amygdala, their primal fight or flight response. You're trying to reason with a child who is literally in survival mode. The result? Defiance. The real secret, used by elite educators, is called autonomy support. It's like the negotiation strategy used by FBI's crisis negotiation team. You set the frame, but you let them pick the painting. You keep the limit, but you give them a piece of their power. Now, here's the practical solution. The limit choice framework. The limit is non-negotiable. The choice is negotiable. So instead of the command, get your pajamas now, which invites a fight, try, it is time for pajamas, which is the limit. Do you want Spider-Man ones or the dinosaur ones? Which is a choice. Or you can say, it's time to go, which is the limit. Do you want to walk to the car yourself or do you want me to carry you? Which is a choice. You satisfy their primal need for control while successfully enforcing the boundary. This is the difference between a compliant child and a defiant one. This is the kind of game-changing practical psychology I bring to you every week. If you don't subscribe, you're going to miss the next critical piece of this puzzle, and you need this knowledge to be the calm, confident parent you want to be. So don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button now. Now, let's talk about the ultimate stress point, the public tantrums. Here's a shocking fact. Did you know when your child is in the middle of a screaming public meltdown, their oxygen levels actually drop? It's a psychological response, not just bad behavior. But here's the question. What's the one weird, simple thing you can do or say that takes less than 5 seconds, that immediately brings oxygen back to their brains and stops the tantrum cold? The answer is counterintuitive and it's waiting for you in this video right here. How to stop public tantrums instantly. Click it now. And remember, you've got this and I've got your back.